Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea and we talk all things cozy personal finance here without the shame and without the guilt. So today we are going to be budgeting my first paycheck of November. I have my trusty computer with me so that I can refer to it while we do this, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I have not created any goals yet for November. I'm not even gonna lie. So we're gonna skip that. So let's just move straight into income. For income, I did get $22.62 this time. And that is because I lowered my contribution to my 401k. That might be a little controversial to some folks, but I am giving it a try to see if I can throw some extra money at debt, savings, whatever. And we're definitely gonna start it back up. But for right now, I kind of wanted to test it out and see how I feel about it. And this is my first paycheck that it was actually affected. So let's see, but we got $22.62 this round. And as for rollover, there was no rollover. I can't even lie to you. There were birthdays, Halloween events, and I ended up spending more than I thought I was going to. So all the money that was left in my cash wallet, which if you're new here, I do cash stuffing. Well, I'm doing that temporarily instead of using my credit card or my debit card for spending money or fun money or anything like that, just to see if it would help me to spend less money. Yeah, all the money that was left over in my cash wallet was used to pay for those expenses. The transactions and everything are resolved, but yeah, what can I say? So there's that. Let's go ahead and move on into my bills section. For my bills, my electric has gone up a little bit again, which I am hard eye rolling about because I'm over this whole electric situation. I know it's been lower because I think New Jersey was getting some sort of credit. I didn't even look into it. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even look into it. I'm going to accept free money. So we were getting some sort of credit, which lowered our bill, but not by much. Not by much. First world problems, but not by much. So anyways, so there's that for the PSE&G. And also this month I am going to be paying for my water bill, which I actually just paid for with this first paycheck of November. If you're new here, I do get my water bill quarterly, and that is my water and my sewer. And that came out to $123.30, and that is with the transaction fee and all that stuff. Don't get me started on the transaction fee, because why are we paying $15 to pay the bill? I don't know. $15 is dramatic. I'm sorry, but what the heck. And as far as that, everything else is pretty much the same. Giving is getting a little bit more. I do tend to put some money in my cash wallet. So if I do see an opportunity to give and to be kind, I do have the opportunity to go ahead and use those monies there. And then towards the end of the month, what I do is I deposit whatever I do not use and back into my checkings account, and I go ahead and donate it to an organization, to a cause, whatever that may be. So that's what happens with that. At least so far. I just started this. Now let's move on to debt. And for debt, I do have my student loan and some credit cards that I'm working on. Actually, 3 of the 4 that are listed there are balance transfers. So thankfully, I'm not worried too much about interest on these cards right now. So I'm gonna try my hardest to knock these things out as much as I can, or really just make a dent, because interest really is an op. I'll tell you that much. But we have those listed there, all the minimum payments for that. And then we also have our extra credit card payment that I have that I will be allocating towards the, which card am I working on right now? Oh, the Discover One card. That is going to be the one that I'm working on now, because that is a balance transfer. But the offer that card gave me, because it was already open, was a lot, like the term for the 0% interest was a lot shorter than the other offers I have been receiving. I think it's only 10 months. So we're gonna try to knock that out fast. So that's where the extra credit card payment for this month will go. Now let's move on to our expenses. As for our expenses, even though I'm not on my low spend challenge anymore, I still do want to continue the habit of just trying to eat at home. I have been starting to meal prep, and honestly, that has made a world of a difference for me, of just like not even having to think about the food that I'm going to eat, because that's something that really keeps me from eating like a more nutritious meal. And so that's something that's been helpful, because I already know the meal is whole, the meal is complete, and the meal is done. All you have to do is warm it up or assemble it, you know, and it's already done. So the meal prepping has really been helping me out. However, I only meal prep for like 2-3 days. I can't really meal prep for much longer than that, because then to me that feels icky. And yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing, like on a Sunday and on a Wednesday, just meal prepping for a couple of days. So I did add a little bit more money towards my groceries category because of that, because I want to make sure that I'm keeping that up. And with gas, I did lower it by $5 this time. I do feel like naturally, thank goodness, my car is a sedan and it's pretty good on gas. But when like I'm filling that car up from almost like 0 to full, it's about $30. So I do want to, just as a comfort safety blanket, be able to fill up my car twice within the pay period, just in case. Not that I use that all the time, but I just want to be able to have that available. So we moved it to 60 instead of the 65 that I normally do. And everything else is about the same. So let's go ahead and move on to savings. And as for savings, we have our savings challenge, which is almost done. I think I only have 2 more envelopes. Is it 2 more envelopes? Maybe 3. Okay, I think I only have 3 more envelopes to fill, which is crazy because I didn't even think I was gonna stick to that, but excited nonetheless. That money is actually going to be used towards the holidays, and thankfully I budgeted to save a lot more than I needed. So maybe I will dedicate the rest of that money to something else, maybe fixing something around the home or throwing it towards some other savings. We'll see what ends up happening with that, but I'm excited that that's almost coming to a close. We also have our travel high yield savings account that is getting some money, our health high yield savings account that is getting some money. Funnily, I have like all my doctor's appointments this month, so like we got to prepare with the copays. So with that being said, I am just making sure that I have that all covered so that when the time comes, I'm not looking for the money, it's already there. So that's for that. And then lastly, we have our emergency fund. Again, I just want to beef that up a little bit as much as I can. Little by little, I feel like slow and steady will win this race. And I'm excited to start contributing to that again, because for a long time I wasn't. You know, life be lifing, and sometimes we just got to be prepared for emergencies. So that's what we're doing with that for right now. But let's go ahead and move on to our monthly breakdown visual. Now here you can see where exactly my income for the entire month of November is going to, how much is allocated towards bills, expenses, debts, and savings. I don't know why I forgot my categories. And that wraps up the budgeting portion of this video. Of course, I always have to have a question of the video. So my question of the video is, as we are coming into the holiday season, what is one thing that you're super, super thankful for? I know often there's a lot of terrible things that are happening, or life is lifing and it feels pretty down and rough, and it feels like things keep coming at you at the fastest speed ever. I'm somebody who's guilty of like constantly thinking of what's next, what's new, what's this, instead of being in the present. And so I think this is the perfect opportunity to step back and talk about what we're thankful for. And so let me know in the comments what you're thankful for. First of all, I'm thankful for all of y'all, okay? Because last I checked, I had about like 140-ish followers. And realistically, I was like, oh no, you know, like nobody's gonna watch me on YouTube. What are you talking about? And to think that that's the number that I have, like, is absolutely insane. A friend actually told me, like, hey, you don't know, like, even if you don't feel like you're helping somebody, you're probably helping somebody and you just don't know. And so just to think about the love and support that I get from all of you guys on here and on my other social media, it's honestly just so reassuring and has me on cloud 9. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been such a beautiful thing to build this community and to make so many beautiful friends. And I'm so grateful for all of you. Of course, I'm also grateful for my family, my loved ones. I'm grateful for these motorcycles. I'm grateful they're having a great time. No, but I'm grateful for the roof over my head and so on and so forth. I can really go on for a long time, but those are the biggest pieces for me. So let me know in the comments what it is for you. If you're interested in more content like this or lifestyle content, silly content, make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram because that's where I'm the most active. And if you loved this video, want to see more, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll talk soon. Bye.